Have you experienced a life traumatic event that has put you in a downward spiral in your life, and trying to find your purpose has been this chase of emptiness and it's just something you can't figure out? Well, I'll tell you a story. A few days ago, I was at a corporate dinner and this guy, early 30s, we're just connecting and we're chatting a little bit and we dive into it and he starts going deeper into his journey of where he is and all that. He just landed a job with this new company and he was telling me about he's an only child and there's this traumatic event that happened in his life where his father passed away way before it was expected and they had a really close relationship. And this is 7 or 8 years that already passed since the father passed away. But that moment in life is still being held on. And so he's going deep into the experiences that the mother felt and that he felt, and that all of those experiences and the journey along what happened in that moment is still very, very, very impactful today, 7, 8 years later. And there's a couple things I took away from that, and I hope it can bring some value to you. A lot of points within the conversation were always into materialistic kind of gaps in what they saw would bring them joy, or what they would feel would give them purpose, or that he felt what he would consider being on the right path or not spinning his wheels. And I think a lot of us on this journey of life have something that hits us hard, right? Something that knocks you down on your ass, or that you question your existence. And that is scary. And I've seen it firsthand, and I've lost friends to suicide, and they couldn't see clearly. They couldn't find their why, and they didn't have anybody that was able to pull them out. And I hope that maybe there's a little bit of light that is shined as to the fact that sometimes you just need to take a step back, and you need to really go deep and internalize the feelings, which will allow you to get to the point where you can see what you really want out of life. And I don't believe that many people sit in that quiet space and visualize and feel what brings them true joy. And maybe if you don't know, the first step is to quiet the noise and get rid of all of the distractions, your phone, technology, etc. And it might be more than one day for you to even get into that point where you can access the emotional feelings and triggers and then release them. You have to come face to face with those hard moments in your life and realize that shit happens. But it's what you do when those things hit you that define your character and who you are for the rest of your life. And life is truly amazing and it's worth living. And if you can find the purpose and why it is that you're on this earth and you are chasing purpose, that drive, that goal, that ambition, because now it's something that you are truly in alignment with when who you are, then I think that's where true happiness comes. It's not going to matter what car you drive. It's not going to matter where you go on vacation. It's not going to matter what house you live in or what neighborhood you live in. What really matters is that you have love in your heart and that you've been able to love yourself and get to the point where you know that you're worthy in life. And that is the hardest trigger, because if you don't know why you're on this earth and you don't know where you're going, then you can't even find yourself on that journey. So take a second and go deep into thought. Go into the wilderness, go into rent a log cabin, rent a place by the water. If you don't have the money, then literally just go on strolls every single day for multiple hours at a time in a beautiful setting that allows to bring you just out of the normal that you're used to. It might be like that you're used to going to work and you're 9 to 5 and you come home and you have the family and you have the kids and everything is just like this repeat Groundhog Day. Take yourself out of that equation. Wake up an extra 2 hours and just walk around your neighborhood, or get in your car and drive somewhere and walk somewhere new. Go into a neighborhood that is an extremely beautiful neighborhood that brings you so much happiness and peace and joy that you just look at it and you're like, man, this is great. I would love to live here. And just walk around that neighborhood. But all you got to do is pull yourself out of the normal routine and then quiet the mind and allow yourself to truly see introspectively what it is that you want out of life, and then what you're doing every single day that's going to help you define where you want to go. And so that story of that person losing their father and then kind of still being stuck in this this heartache and pain point of they're still trying to figure it out in life, that is okay. It's okay to not know what you want when you're 30 something years old or you still haven't figured it out. But that constant pursuit to find yourself and quieting the mind to see what actually brings you joy, or where you feel that you can find true value, is the most important thing, which is why I believe that you need to figure out what value you're providing the world, and then in return, that will help you determine what your purpose is in life. I feel like there's a large portion that has hit a moment in their life where they're almost upset angry, sad, and mourning over the fact that they haven't figured it out yet. They're almost like angry to the point of disgust or of sadness and depression because they're 34, 35, 37, 39. They haven't figured it out. Life hasn't gone in their favor. They haven't been able to get a win in their back, and they're challenging or questioning everything they're doing, everything they've done, and their purpose today moving forward. And so just that thought alone hits me because it's like, man, life is so beautiful and it's so long. And you're 37, 38, 40, 45, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter what age you are at this moment. Even if you're 20, 25 and you're watching this and you're trying to figure out like, well, like I still don't know what I want. Yeah, but it also talks to you because guess what? You're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the damn game. If you're 25 years old and you're in a position that you feel like you're genuinely creating the experiences around the people that are adding value in your life, and that you're able to go into your 30s with momentum, if you're able to build up like in your world what you want out of life and you put yourself in that angle, your 30s, you won't be in a position where you're questioning or you're struggling to find your purpose because you put the work in to set yourself up in your 20s. But very, very few do that. They experience their 20s and their 20s catches them by surprise. And they're in the moment and they're not thinking, they're not planning, they're not going into what do I want to achieve out of life when I'm 50, 60, 80, 100 years old, however long you're gonna live. If you were to sit on the rocking chair, right, you're 80 something years old and you look back at your life and you're like, man, are you proud at the life you lived? Are you in regret for not taking the chances or taking the swings or asking the questions or shooting your shot? Or are you in a position where you gave it your all and you know that you tried everything in your world? You would be surprised. And I think that most people don't even think about what life's gonna look like when they're 80. So they're just thinking about today or tomorrow or the problem that's on their plate, right? Or what they have to solve. And so that consumes you. You're consumed in today. You're consumed in what's coming at you. So in reality, you're reactive instead of being proactive. I just need you to be proactive. So shut it down. Step 1, quiet the mind. Get rid of distractions. Step 2, go internal. Breathe slowly and just allow your mind to wander and ask yourself some questions that would get you to start creating the answers to what you want to be and where you want to go in life. And those questions could be things like, if I'm 80 years old and I looked back and I'm talking to my 20-year-old self, what do I want to tell my 20-year-old self? Is it, man, just take the shot, go after it. Don't be scared. Surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up. Get rid of the people that are pulling you down. Understand the energy that is around you, the rooms that you're in. There's things that are going to come out of those conversations, but have real conversations with your future self, right? And I think that there's no better judgment of human than your future self, right? Your future hero. And so Matthew McConaughey says it the best. He's like, who's my hero? It's me in 10 years. And who's my hero? It's me in 10 years from now, right? So he's constantly chasing his better self. So he's just improving. And improvement is the true path to happiness. If you're able to improve today versus tomorrow, if you're progressing forward, then true happiness can come because you are making progress. And when you look back 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years, you're like, damn, I remember the days when I was sleeping in my gym in a 1,000 square foot space. And now I own a company that services customers all around the world in 28,000 square feet, making millions of dollars a year. And you can go back and say, I'm proud of you, kid. I'm proud of the work that you put in when many doubted you, but you believed in yourself. Having those conversations are crucial. And then step 3, which is critical, is you need to take action. You need to take the step forward. You have to do something, whatever that may be, even if you don't have the fully planned out. Everybody wants to get caught up in writing business plans and thinking through the entire scenario and what they don't have and what they do have, or how big the market is, or how much competition there is. It doesn't matter, because all that matters is that you believe in yourself, you see an opportunity, you're truly driven by your passion, your light, and what it is that you want out of life, and that you believe that you are capable, and you have to believe in yourself, that you are capable of solving that problem for that person. And most of the times, it's because you've actually been there. So if you've been through that heartache experience, then maybe you should think about man, you know what? I want to help those people that have gone through the same experience that I went through, and I want to try to keep them or get them out of those situations as quickly as possible to get them back on their path of life. And that alone is a business. That alone is an opportunity to solve a problem for someone. And it's not just that experience. That experience can be, well, the death of a loved one, or the experience can be a first-time mom who feels alone, or the experience can be a first-time entrepreneur that just feels like nothing is going his way. But looking at the problems you're trying to solve, utilizing the experiences that you've been in, that's where real greatness comes from. That's what will give you your purpose in life. Don't look further, look internal and focus on you. Finding your walk in life is critical. Watch this video where I sit down with a leader in this space who helps OnlyFans, creators, the people that are launching personal brands, as well as celebrities and athletes in the space, manage your wealth, manage their business, and ensure that every dollar that comes in is going in the right place where they don't end up broke.